In this video, we will learn to service the various parts of the Cramer timer, including the cams, microswitches, and the timer motor. Before servicing the Cramer timer, disconnect the machine from the power supply. To adjust the timer, it will be necessary to move one of the sides of the cams on the timer. Generally, but not always, the cam on the left side is the lead cam. It is the one that starts the action, for example, the detergent motor, the fill valve, etc. The second cam shuts the action off. When the switch using normally closed wiring drops down in the cam slot, it turns the power on. When it rises out of the slot, it turns the power off. The master cam is not changeable and is white in color. The cams that are changeable are gray and made of two pieces. To set the detergent time, you will move the right cam. The tool supplied with each machine will make adjusting exact. Setting the detergent motor time will set the volume. Remember, the main idea is to get the cams in position to turn the detergent motor on just after the pump motor starts. Moving the cam towards you will close the gap or notch in the cam. This will decrease the time and the amount of chemical delivered. Moving the right cam away from you will open the cam. This will increase the time and the amount of chemical delivered. The other cams are set the same way. At first, make small adjustments to the right cam. On certain small cam gaps, a small movement will make a large difference. Also, peri-pump tubing inside diameter is relevant to the amount of chemical delivered and time on. If you need to roll the cams on the timer to a different position, remember to use the two white cams to do this. They are not variable and will not change when used to move the timer motor. After you are finished, reconnect the machine to the power supply and check machine for proper operation. To check the timer microswitch, start by disconnecting the machine from power and setting your voltmeter to ohms. Check your meter to make sure it is working properly by touching the leads together. Note the change in reading on the meter. Remove the wires from the switch. Make sure the cam is in the down position for checking normally open circuits, such as the detergent or fill valve. Touch the leads to the switch tabs. You should have the same readings as you had when you touched the leads together. If you do not, replace the switch. To ensure that the proper voltage is being delivered to the microswitch, first carefully expose part of the tab in the switch. Make sure that the timer is in the running position for the switch. Place one lead from your meter on the tab and the other lead on the common wire. This will be a white wire. You should read 110 volts to 115 volts AC. If you're not getting the proper voltage, check to see why you're not getting power. Check wiring for damage. If you have 115 volts AC, then try the tab coming out of the switch the same way. You should have 110 volts to 115 volts AC here also. An alternative and safer method is by using shielded connectors as meter lead ends. For the timer, take a 3/16 inch shielded connector and mash the part where the wire is placed enough to oval it. Too much and the lead will not fit. When you have finished checking the microswitch, reconnect the machine to the power supply and check the machine for proper operation. If you have determined that the timer microswitch needs to be replaced, first make sure that the machine is disconnected from power. Then, start by removing the screw in the pot of the microswitch pocket. It is a Phillips screw. Once you have removed the screw, the pocket will slide back and out of the timer. Remove the wires if they are still connected. Note that the switch is set in place on two pins. It easily slips off. Replace the switch in the pocket and replace the wires. It is easier to make sure that the wires are in correct position at this time. Replace the pocket in its position on the timer. Make sure that you connect the lip of the pocket on the timer body correctly. If you install it incorrectly, it will not work properly. Reinstall the screw and check the switch to see if it is working properly. Finally, reconnect the machine to the power supply and check machine for proper operation. If the timer motor for the Cramer timer needs to be replaced, start by disconnecting the machine from power. To replace the timer motor, first unwire and remove the timer from the machine. With a Phillips screwdriver, remove the two mounting screws from the timer motor. Slide the timer motor out of the timer bracket. Replace the timer motor with the same type timer motor. Different length time is done partly with the gears. Make sure the gears match on the replacement motor. Slide the new timer motor back in the timer bracket and match the gears. Then replace the timer motor mounting screws. For repairs on the bench, check the timer with power before returning to stock.